Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So last Tuesday we got the Rogue Whisperknife updates. Many of you may be wondering how to play Whisperknife now. What setup should you be using? Well, there's quite a few different variants and we'll cover that in this video, and in particular what I would be using for the new trial, where I posted a gameplay just the day before yesterday. It was a bit scuffed as it was like my first time running that setup, so I missed a bit in my rotations, but nonetheless, the damage output can just be massive. Now, there was also some additional updates pushed out to just a preview server just now, and we'll cover those along with all of what they've already done. We can see that with this compiled list of changes here. So you've got the Shadow Demise feat. This is being changed now on the previous server. Before, it's at like 50% and still affected by enemy stats and debuffs. That is going to be changing. The Shadowy Opportunity feat is actually going from what it was 15% to 200% to now 250% as per the previous server. So we have Amateur's Haste feat gone to 40%, Gutterborn's Touch feat also been increased, Impact Shot, a little bit of magnitude, Shadow Strike also, Disheartening Strike at will, pretty big improvement there, just its damage over time. And Cloud of Steel, a decent improvement with the Whisperknife. Then you have some more encounters and feats here. Vengeance, Pursuit Encounter can properly target. The Dark Reimbursement feat giving some extra stealth regen. One with the Shadow feat having a reduced cooldown. Return to the Shadow feat having increased stealth regen. The Dagger feat extra damage. And then stealth regen penalty being decreased by 40%. Lashing Blade having that new extra effect there. And the change to Path of Blades, that you could also get that on the Assassin there. It's the same. But also these two daily powers got improvements as well. But with all those changes, how should you be playing it now? Well, I done a whole bunch of testing with different power setups and different rotations, and what I really settle on is Disheartening Strike, Shuriken Toss, or Cloud of Steel, depending on what fight you're in, multi-target or single target, Blade, Flurry, Smoke Bomb, and Vengeance Pursuit. Daily powers, you want Killing Storm. The second daily powers, whatever, but you can just throw Hateful Knives in there the off chance you might want to use it. Class features, you want to have Razor Action 100%, and then it depends on the fight. If there's multiple targets to beat up, advantageous position. If it's just a single target fight and you can make sure you have combat advantage against your enemies, then use Dagger Threat. It will give you a bit of increased damage to some of your abilities. Not all though. And then for the feats, we want to be choosing the bottom one here for the cooldown reduction, the top one here for the stealth regen, the bottom one for the stealth regen, the bottom one for the damage. This is basically 250 magnitude damage on each of your attacks after you leave stealth for 5 seconds. It's kind of insane. And the last feat, you want generally the top one. However, I want to do some more testing on that because the only power it's going to affect is our Blade Flurry, but that is going to be quite a lot of our damage. I still need to test out a bit more on Gutterborn's Touch, so that might change. Now with this setup, you're basically having insane amount of damage. So you go to your boss, you're going to put Disheartening Strike on, you go Stealth, Blade Flurry, Smoke Bomb, and then you can use your Vengeance to get some stealth back, do some at-wills, then use your Blade Flurry, you can use Disheartening there again, some more at-wills, use our Vengeance for stealth, we get the stealth back, use that, we can go Smoke Bomb, and you just end up with insane amounts of damage. Vengeance, it's just for stealth pretty much. It has some AoE effects with it as well. You get that stealth, and you're just continually going Blade Flurry from stealth, Smoke Bomb, Vengeance for more stealth, Blade Flurry again, and just, yeah, at-wills in between. You're just never using Blade Flurry to put it off cooldown. You're only using it while stealth. That's it. And it's just insane because you're maintaining the buff of Shadowy Opportunity and ending up with ridiculous amounts of damage over time. You can use Shadow of Demise, and that can be useful in some niche cases. Now, if you want my test results and comparisons on those, I can show you. So this is the damage log. We're not using daily powers or we're not using mount powers, as that will be the same, and that can really swing results when like one of your tests has a crit and the other doesn't, the other has a deflect and the other one doesn't, and so we're ignoring that. We're just going at wills and encounters. It can be a little bit different then when you do use your big burst, and it can be a bit favorable towards, let's say, Shadow of Demise if you have that burst with like an artifact call. But this will generally be, for most players, you want to have reliable damage over time, particularly when you're in uncoordinated groups and don't have artifact calls. So this result right here is using Shadow Opportunity, Lashing Blade, Shadow Strike, and Vengeance Pursuit. You're basically using setup like this, which is just single target. So you're using Stealth, Vengeance Pursuit, then Lashing Blade, and then you're using your Vengeance to get your Stealth back. And then by the time your cooldowns are 2 seconds, you use Stealth, and then again Shadow Strike, Lashing Blade, and Vengeance Pursuit. And that's your rotation. And you can use that then with Shadow Opportunity. You can use it with Demise. With using it with Shadow Opportunity, we're getting our DPS to like 478,000. Pretty decent. But then we go to what I was talking about, where you use Vengeance Pursuit, your Blade Flurry, and your Smoke Bomb, and we're resulting in more damage. The DPS has gone over 500,000. I've compared that with a setup where you would use your Path of the Blades versus Smoke Bomb, and this is like only 460,000 DPS, so that was lower. Better to have the Smoke Bomb, especially when that Smoke Bomb can also trigger Enchantress Hex. And the benefit of Smoke Bomb is it has more hits per second, allowing for more hits of Shadowy Opportunity. You just have to make sure you're timing it right and only using Smoke Bomb after you have used your Blade Flurry. Otherwise, those hits of Smoke Bomb will not actually trigger Shadowy Opportunity. You have to use it after you have already broke Stealth. So Blade Flurry Stealth, then Smoke Bomb. And then you get all those extra hits. It's just kind of ridiculous. But you can see here, we also tried then the Shadow of Demise, and we were just resulting in quite significantly less amount of damage. Again, we don't have artifact calls, but everywhere the damage would be higher. And I think for most people, you're not going to get a lot of value out of Shadow of Demise, especially compared to the buffed up Shadowy Opportunity. It's just kind of insane the amount of damage you're getting per second of that. Now, I did go on to compare this versus Assassin. Again, we're using this setup usually, like again, taking Dagger Threat if you just have one enemy, extra damage, but otherwise advantageous position, because that's just crazy to get that combat advantage against all enemies regardless of positioning. But I did go on to compare this against Assassin. How is that performing, let's say, in single target? If we're using this in single target, which is a lot of multi-target, Blade Flurry and Smoke Bomb, they're multi-target. Vengeance Pursuit, not used while in stealth, is also considered multi-target. Now, there's a bug with Vengeance Pursuit, and I don't know if it's intended, but it basically has 3 hits. So you're going to use the first hit to attack the dude, and then the second follow-up hit you teleport and you hit twice. That's 3 hits. And each of those hits will trigger your return to the shadows, gaining you 60% stealth if you're behind your target. Otherwise, just 45% if you're in front. So that's why it's so good at stealth regen. And if you're just fighting groups of enemies, you can see what you can do here. If we have 2 enemies there, we use Vengeance Pursuit on one of them. There you go. It doesn't go on cooldown. You can use it again on the next one. It doesn't go on cooldown. And each time it's generating me stealth. Let's say we don't have stealth here. We go and use Vengeance on this guy. We gain some stealth by using that. And again. So if you're in multi-target and you can kill a target with this power, it's not going on cooldown. And you can just repeat, use it again, and get an absolute ton of stealth. It is just so good for that. But you can use like Blitz instead for some extra burst damage. It can generate quite a lot of stealth when you hit lots of targets. Like you can see we got it to full right there. I think it's per target it gives you the stealth. So that's also kind of busted. Very useful there. But if you want burst damage, that can be better. Like again, we use our stealth here and we just use our Blitz against everything, and you pretty much get stealth full to instantly. But the problem is it has that long cooldown. It doesn't have the benefit of being able to use it like multiple times. Like again, you summon your thing, and if you kill him with it, it doesn't put the power on cooldown. You can use it again. Also, the follow-up effect of the power is multi-target. So like when we actually get to cast the full power, multi-target, and it's 2 hits, giving you extra stealth. So in single target, Vengeance is definitely better. In burst fights, Blitz can be a little bit better if you're able to go out of combat and there's a little bit of downtime to get the cooldown so that you can generate stealth back again, because you ideally want to have Shadowy Opportunity up all the time. So you're regenerating that stealth, using it with Blade Flurry, triggering that effect again, and yeah, it's just crazy. That is pretty much how to play Whisperknife. It is pretty dead simple with this setup. I can show you here again. This is just with a heroic encounter. You're going your Blade Flurry from stealth, you attack, and then you just can use some at-wills or Vengeance Pursuit, get our stealth again, Blade Flurry from stealth, we can use Vengeance again to get our stealth, use Blade Flurry, pop down the Smoke Bomb, everything's dead, the next wave comes, and then Blade Flurry from stealth, using some Vengeance Pursuits to get that stealth back again. Again, it's not going on cooldown, and all the ads are dead. It's kind of crazy. And with Smoke Bomb, you can like annihilate bosses as well, because you have Hex, and on top of that, you have a daily power, which is really busted for multi-target. And yeah, you just have that crazy stealth regen, giving you tons of those hits of Shadowy Opportunity. And you just keep doing that. Blade Flurry from stealth, and then your other encounter powers to get the stealth back, and Smoke Bomb to get the damage, and you're set. You can go in any of the new zones, any group of enemy, just dead in seconds. Smoke Bomb just gonna annihilate them. You go to the next group, we can use a Shadow Opportunity if we need like to teleport over there, use Blade Flurry from stealth, and well, everything's dead already. But yeah, you're combining Smoke Bomb with Shadowy Opportunity after you've used that Blade Flurry. You need some stealth, no problem, Vengeance Pursuit, and then yeah, everything's melted. Whisperknife is just kind of insane for multi-target damage. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's freaking awesome after all this time. I mean, Whisperknife was good before. It's kind of just better now, and the stealth regen is really good. Really, really good. Now, you will struggle when you're in a fight that you take a lot of damage. That is a big reason I'm using Vengeance Pursuit as well. You can outdo that. If you're taking a lot of damage, you'll experience stealth drain. So you'll have some stealth while you're building it up, and you're just going to end up having that stealth drained because of the effect of, yeah, they added that to like for PvP or something, where your stealth would drain so that you couldn't end up like in perma stealth. So like when this guy attacks me, but we go here, we can use our mount power as well. Use Shadow Pursuit, we can get that up. He's rooted us here. Another Shadow Pursuit there. And we should be able to get our stealth regen, like just dodge an attack. There we go, and a Smoke Bomb. And this guy should just be melted. Yeah, gone. That's a mini boss. Have fun beating them up that quickly on some other classes. There are multiple ways you can play it. You can use Shadow of Demise. You can trigger it on a boss. You can take damage from enemies and then feed it into that and do a big damage hit on the boss. But I've just found it not practical. Not worth that effort. Just go with Shadowy Opportunity and everything is so much easier. Just don't be using Blade Flurry when it goes on cooldown. Only use it from stealth. So that's it for my Whisperknife overview and the best powers to be using. A last note in terms of daily powers, yeah. Killing Storm has some bug with Razor Action that it will trigger Razor Action on every one of its hits, resulting in a massive amount of damage. Yeah. So hopefully this is somewhat insightful. A special thank you again to all of these channel members for their added support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.